I never imagined marriage would feel like stepping into a quiet war. When I married Daniel, I believed love would be enough to shield us from everything else. At first, his parents seemed polite, even supportive. His mother smiled often, his father spoke little, and I told myself their distance was just a habit. But once we moved closer to them, everything changed. Small comments turned into daily criticisms. The way I cooked was wrong. The way I dressed was embarrassing. Even the way I laughed was too much. Daniel tried to brush it off, telling me they meant well, but the tension lived in our house like a shadow. His mother started dropping by unannounced, rearranging my kitchen, questioning my choices, and reminding me that I was replaceable. His father backed her with silence, which somehow hurt more slowly. Daniel began to change too. He stopped defending me. He started repeating their words as if they were his own thoughts. I felt myself shrinking, choosing silence over arguments, exhaustion over resistance. Nights became sleepless, mornings heavy. I blamed myself, wondering if I really was the problem. I stopped calling friends, stopped visiting my family, because his mother said they were a bad influence. I didn't notice how isolated I had become until one evening. I looked in the mirror and barely recognized the woman staring back. That was the moment I realized something was terribly wrong, but I still didn't know how deep the damage would go. The real destruction began when control turned into manipulation. My in-laws started interfering in our finances, convincing Daniel that I was irresponsible. They pushed him to give them access to our accounts, framing it as family support. Suddenly, I had to explain every purchase. If I bought something for myself, it became proof of my selfishness. His mother spread quiet rumors, telling relatives that I was unstable, dramatic, and ungrateful. I could feel eyes judging me at family gatherings, whispers stopping when I entered rooms. When I confronted Daniel, he accused me of overreacting. He said I was imagining things. That word imagining cut deep. It made me doubt my own reality. Arguments escalated. His parents always seemed to appear right after, fueling the fire, never calming it. One night after a brutal fight, his mother calmly suggested that maybe Daniel would be happier without me. She said it in a soft voice, like advice, not cruelty. Daniel didn't stop her. That silence shattered something inside me. I began keeping a journal, not for revenge, but to stay sane. I wrote down dates, words, actions, patterns. Writing became my only safe place. I realized this wasn't about love or family values. It was about power. They wanted control, and I was in the way. The more I observed, the clearer everything became. Fear slowly turned into awareness, and awareness began to change me. Once I saw the truth, I stopped reacting and started planning. I became quiet, observant, careful. My silence confused them. They thought I was finally learning my place. Meanwhile, I rebuilt myself. Piece by piece, I secretly reconnected with my family, explained everything, and for the first time, I was believed that support felt like oxygen. I gathered documents, messages, and financial records. Every insult, every threat, every manipulation was documented. I focused on my work, saving money in an account only I could access. Daniel noticed my distance, but assumed I was defeated. His parents grew bolder, openly disrespecting me. Instead of responding, I listened. I learned how they operated, how they twisted stories, how they relied on intimidation. One afternoon, his mother said something she believed I would never dare repeat. That moment confirmed everything I needed to know. I wasn't trapped anymore. I was preparing. Fear no longer controlled me. Clarity did. I consulted a lawyer, quietly asked questions, learned my rights. Each answer strengthened me. I stopped seeing myself as a victim and started seeing myself as someone who survived. The woman in the mirror slowly returned stronger, calmer, and focused. I knew the final move had to be clean, undeniable, and silent. No shouting, no begging, just truth. The final move didn't involve confrontation. It involved precision. I filed for separation first before rumors could spread. The evidence spoke louder than any argument ever could. Financial manipulation, emotional abuse, witness statements, everything was there. When Daniel received the papers, he was shocked. His parents were furious. They tried calling, threatening, blaming, but I didn't answer for the first time. They had no control over the narrative. Family members who once avoided me started asking questions. Truth traveled faster than lies when supported by facts. His mother tried to paint me as cruel, but her words collapsed under documentation. Daniel finally saw what I had been carrying alone. By then it was too late. I wasn't doing this to teach them a lesson. I was doing it to save myself. Walking away felt terrifying and freeing at the same time. I packed my things quietly and left without drama. No tears in front of them. No last arguments, just distance. That silence was powerful. It denied them the chaos they thrived on. They were left with their own behavior, reflected back at them through consequences. Today my life is peaceful in a way I once thought was impossible. Healing didn't happen overnight, but it happened, honestly. I rebuilt my confidence, my independence, and my sense of self. The voices that once controlled me are gone. My in-laws are silent now, not because they changed, but because they lost access to me. That was my final move. Silence, backed by strength and truth, is louder than any argument. I learned that survival doesn't always look like fighting. Sometimes it looks like walking away with dignity. I no longer measure my worth through their approval. I define it myself. My story isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming power. If someone is listening to this and feels trapped, know this awareness is the first step. Preparation is the second, and courage is the final one. You don't need to scream to be heard. Sometimes the strongest statement you can make is choosing yourself and leaving the rest behind.